Now in this next video, it's a little tricky, a little bit involved, so pay attention. I'm going to put some slashes down here. Slashes are ignored. You can write yourself a note, next block of code if you want, or I don't know. I'm not going to write anything right now. I'm just going to divide this chunk of code from the other. So what I want to do now is, let's see, I want to make it look like you're going from room to room. So first thing to do is write an if statement. If underscore x is ever greater than or equal to 160, that's 80 doubled, 160. If that happens, I want it to throw you back to the first frame. So basically that's what I'm looking for. That's the first step. And the next thing, not just throw you back to the first pixel, that's what it's basically saying. If you reach the end of the room, go back to the start of the room. I also want underscore parent dot levels dot underscore x. So it's, the way to interpret this is underscore parent means out here there's something called levels. What about it? The x position of the levels. I want it to subtract 160 is the width of a room. So let's see if that's right. So as soon as I go there, yeah, and now obviously I can't go through a wall, so I won't be able to switch it back. And to switch it back to the previous room, to go backwards, in other words, I need to say if you're ever down to 0, then throw the player to 159, which is 1 away from 160, and instead of subtract, we add. So let's go into this room and go back. So now we're going back and forth between those two rooms perfectly. So continuing with that logic now, we need to make this y because we need it to do it in the vertical direction. But in the vertical direction, it's 120. So let's see if that works. When I go down, yep, and since I can go through that door again, I can go again. So copy paste. This time it's minus, or not minus, less than. So if it's ever less than or equal to 0, throw it back to the, let's see, we get to the top, throw it back to the bottom of the room, which would be, let's see, it's 120, so 119. And I'll just copy that and paste that right there. And actually, I think this needs to be positive because we copied it from up here, and that's negative, which is the other direction. So now I go down, and then I can go back up, and the illusion is pretty convincing. So one more thing. We took care of that pretty smooth, but now the sort of moment we've all been waiting for, I'm going to go out to scene 1. I'm going to make another layer, call it code. Let me lock it so I can't accidentally draw on it. And now I'm going to say underscore x equals, if I said 100, or excuse me, not x, it's x scale. So if I say 100, then it's going to be the same size because that's like 100%. If I publish it, it looks the same. If I make it 200, then it's twice as big. If I make it 300, you get the gist. Well, it turns out to be 500 because I instead of 10 times bigger, it's half of that. But basically now we've zoomed into that upper corner of the game, and that's the only part we're really watching now. So that's how I want this to work. Looks like there's something off about, as I move here, I don't see the top wall, and it seems to be creeping. So we need to fix something about that. And I'm not sure what that is. Let me see. Oh, I think I know what it is. When I copied this, I need to make it, it needs to be 120, not 119. That was slowly taking away 1 pixel. I copied it from here. Should be that. So that should work. I go up, down, Now it's not losing anything. And I can't go through the walls too. That's interesting. Very, very cool. So that's it for this one. See you in the next video.